Today we will consider Wheatstone Bridge, a bridge that was given by Sir Charles F. Wheatstone, in which we are going to consider arrangement of four resistors in the form of a quadrilateral. And it is known as a bridge because it is going to join two points B and D. And when we will do the article, we will see that when potential at B and D is going to be same, no current flows through this galvanometer. So an arrangement of four resistors. How many resistors? P, Q, R, S. Four resistors which are in the form of a quadrilateral A, B, C, D, where B and D are joined together with the help of galvanometer. Then this arrangement will be known as Wheatstone bridge. When we are going to have this type of arrangement, now this quadrilateral will have two diagonals. One diagonal will be AC and one diagonal will be BD. Across one diagonal AC, we are going to have source E. So this AC is known as battery arm. And across another diagonal BD, we are going to have galvanometer. So this is known as galvanometer arm. Cell we have considered for simplicity that it is not going to have any internal resistance. So what we have considered till now, Wheatstone bridge is an arrangement of four resistors which are connected in the form of a quadrilateral A, B, C, D, whose 2 points B and D are connected together with the help of galvanometer. So this BD will be known as galvanometer arm, and other diagonal AC, it is connected with the help of battery eliminator or cell, and it is known as battery arm. Now see what happens when we are going to have this type of arrangement. With resistor you are already familiar, which offers opposition to the flow of charged particle, opposition to the flow of current. And galvanometer is a device that is used to detect the presence of current. When current will flow through galvanometer, its pointer will deflect. And if its pointer is not deflecting, it means no current is passing through galvanometer. So galvanometer will show deflection when current is passing through it. So it will work as current detector here. Now what we will consider in this circuit diagram: P, Q, R, S, four resistors, G galvanometer, this is a battery arm, or we are going to have a cell of combination of cells. Now from positive terminal of this battery, current will flow. Let us consider I current is flowing through positive terminal. At this point A, this current will divide in two parts. Let us consider along AD I1 current is flowing and along AB I2 current is flowing. See, current will flow from A to B if potential at A is higher and potential at B is lower. So if I will consider 5 volt is here, then 3 volt will be here, then 2 volt potential drop will be across this resistor. Current will flow from A to D if potential at A is higher than potential at D. If here we are going to have 5 volt and this is a 3 volt, then 2 volt potential drop should be across this resistor. And if I consider this wire is not going to have any resistance, no potential drop is here, so whatever will be the potential of this positive, A will also be at the same potential. So I will consider potential at point is E only. So repeating what we have done till now, we have an arrangement of four resistors P, Q, R, S in the form of a quadrilateral, where B and D are joined with the help of a galvanometer and A and C are joined with the help of battery. Then I said that we have not considered any internal resistance of this battery, and from positive terminal of battery current I is flowing. At this point it is going to split into two parts, I1 and I2. So current will flow from A to D if potential at A will be greater than D, current will flow from A to B if potential at A is greater than B. These points I have written here. And if current is flowing from B to D, it means potential at B is higher than potential at D. If current is flowing from D to B, it means potential at D is greater than potential at B. So when we are going to consider that this is not going to have any internal resistance, connecting wires are also not going to offer very large resistance, then whatever is potential here, the same potential we will consider at this point A. So at point A, I will consider potential E. So I said just now that if here I am going to have a 5 and here I am going to have 3, then 2 volt of potential difference should be across this resistor. So if E is potential at A and VB is potential at B, potential drop across P will be V is equal to IR. P is value of this resistance, so potential drop across P will be I2P. So I can write potential at A will be equal to potential drop across P plus potential at B. So I can write E will be equal to I2P plus VB. So what is VB? VB will come out to be E minus I2P. Similarly, if I will consider flow of current across this, then potential at A should be equal to sum of potential drop across R and potential at point D. So E will be equal to I1R plus VD. So VD will be equal to E minus I1R. Also we know that I is equal to I1 plus I2. From here you can find value of I1 and you can put in this equation. So potential at D will come out to be this. If VB is greater than VD, current will flow from B to D. If VD is greater than VB, current will flow from D to B. If these both values are equal, VB is equal to VD, in that case no current will flow through galvanometer. Deflection in galvanometer will come out to be 0 and this bridge is said to be in balanced state. When the bridge is said to be in balanced state, when no current is going to flow through galvanometer, potential at point B and potential at point D is going to be same. Then bridge is said to be at balanced state. Now we will use Kirchhoff law to prove the balanced state equation, that is P upon Q is equal to R upon S. This is a 3-mark question. Derive the balanced state condition in case of Wheatstone bridge. So for this I will consider loop ABDA using Kirchhoff law. Potential drop will be considered to be negative if path is same as the direction of flow of current. So here path is the same A to B, as current is also flowing from A to B. So we will consider this potential drop to be negative. How much potential drop? Minus I2P. Potential drop across this, if G is resistance of galvanometer, it will be minus IgG. This side plus I1R will be equal to 0. In balanced state, Ig will come out to be 0. So final equation will be minus I2P is equal to minus I1R. When we will consider loop BCDB, use Kirchhoff law, we will have minus I2 minus bracket starts I2 minus Ig multiplied by this resistance Q plus I1 plus IGS plus IgG is equal to 0. Put Ig is equal to 0, we will get this equation minus I2Q is equal to minus I1S. Divide equation 2 by equation 4. So in balanced state, we will get equation P upon Q is equal to R upon S. And this is a balanced state condition in case of Wheatstone bridge that we are doing. And what is the practical application of this Wheatstone bridge? Practical application is that with the help of this condition, if 3 resistance values are known to me, then I can find value of unknown resistance. Or if ratio P upon Q is known to me, R is known to me, then I can find value of unknown resistance S. So this method can be used to find the value of unknown resistance. So with these questions, many questions can be there. When you say that Wheatstone bridge is balanced, when will you say that Wheatstone bridge is going to be sensitive, when this is going to be most sensitive. See, VB is equal to VD. This condition we can have by changing the value of R. So Wheatstone bridge is said to be more sensitive or sensitive if small change in R is showing large deflection in case of galvanometer. And when we are going to have this ratio P upon Q is equal to R upon S, then we are going to have this to be balanced state condition in Wheatstone bridge.